The ocean floor is Earth's largest silent graveyard. Beneath the waves lie volcanic plains, deep trenches, and scattered among them, the crumbled stone remnants of human ambition. Throughout history, emperors and kings have built magnificent capitals directly on the coast, treating the shoreline as a fixed, permanent border. They construct massive harbors and marble palaces, assuming their power will last forever, while entirely ignoring the immense, shifting weight of the sea. Across entirely different cultures, sacred texts and oral traditions speak of cities swallowed by water. We have to ask if these stories of drowned kingdoms are merely fables, or if they are the surviving, traumatized memories of genuine historical catastrophes. Ultimately, the ocean acts as the final judge of civilization. It proves, time and time again, that the human illusion of permanence is constantly erased by the simple, unstoppable advance of nature. The Hindu tradition gives us one of the clearest examples of this erasure. Ancient texts like the Mahabharata describe Dwarka, a prosperous, artistically advanced coastal capital associated with Lord Krishna. It was a fortress of shining palaces and thriving harbors. But the texts describe an incredibly violent, rapid end. Once Krishna departed from the world, the sea rushed in. The tide swelled, courtyards cracked wide open, and the entire glowing city was consumed by the ocean in a matter of hours. In the Hindu tradition, this event serves as a sharp reminder of transience. The sinking of the city suggests that worldly glory is temporary, while the power of the natural and divine order is the only thing that truly endures. Whether taken literally or allegorically, Dwarka's fate captures a universal anxiety. It reminds us that no amount of wealth, or military power, or architectural brilliance can hold back the inevitable tides of destiny. Thousands of miles away, the Greek philosopher Plato recorded a strikingly similar account. He described Atlantis as a wealthy island empire possessing highly advanced engineering and an unmatched military force. But according to the texts, that utopian ideal didn't last. The citizens of Atlantis became corrupted by boundless greed. Their wealth bred moral arrogance, and they began to view themselves as untouchable. The punishment for that arrogance was total destruction. The land shattered beneath violent earthquakes, and the entire continent was swallowed by the sea in a single day and night. When both the East and the West share this exact archetype, a powerful civilization brought down by its own moral decay and punished by water, it forces us to look closer. These myths likely hold the echoes of shared human trauma. Today, we don't have to rely entirely on ancient scripture. With deep ocean submersibles and advanced sonar technology, marine archaeologists can scan the seafloor, shifting the narrative from myth to modern forensic reality. Sunken towns are a verified scientific fact. Off the coast of Greece, Pavlo Patry reveals right-angled stone blocks lying clearly beneath the water. We can map out the streets and tombs of an urban center built thousands of years ago. Near Japan, the Yonaguni structure presents massive stone terraces that dwarf the divers exploring them. It sits at the center of intense debate between geologists who see natural tectonic fracturing and researchers who see the unmistakable marks of ancient engineering. Off the coast of Egypt, the rediscovery of the port city of Heraklion provided even more definitive evidence. Divers recovered intact temples, massive statues, and this hieroglyphic stele, perfectly preserved by the mud for over 1,000 years. We build museums to hold our history, but the ocean is Earth's most pristine archive. It preserves the profound physical truth of human history in the exact places where the ancient myths faded out. So how does a thriving settlement actually end up hundreds of feet underwater? What specific violent forces of nature possess the capability to sink entire cities? This line chart shows global sea level rise over the last 15,000 years. Notice the steep climb. At the end of the last ice age, melting glaciers poured immense volumes of water into the oceans, causing a rapid spike that completely erased ancient coastlines. There are also sudden, localized drivers of destruction. When tectonic plates shift, the land can experience immediate subsidence, literally dropping downward. That movement displaces water, creating massive tsunamis that can pick up large vessels and wash them ashore, obliterating a coastal town in minutes. Because these cataclysmic events left deep scars on the human population, they were codified into sacred traditions. The global consistency of flood narratives in texts like Genesis and the Quran suggests these ancient stories are the surviving oral records of these very real, traumatic shifts in the Earth's climate. Our ancestors didn't have seismographs or satellite weather tracking. Framing these catastrophic, violent geological shifts as divine judgment was their psychological mechanism for processing real-world devastation. Pulling back from the hard science, there is a profound philosophical lesson buried in these ruins. Buddhist teaching centers on a concept called anicca, impermanence, the understanding that all conditioned things, including cities, eventually break apart. The sheer scale of this broken stone pharaoh lying horizontally perfectly illustrates the core lesson. Human arrogance, imperial pride, and military dominance will always be dwarfed and eventually dismantled by the natural world. These environmental vulnerabilities are reaching a critical point once again. Modern coastal megacities are built on the same vulnerable edge of the sea that claimed the ancients, facing a future where rising water levels are no longer a myth, but an active threat. Our concrete, steel, and technology give us a feeling of invincibility, but that superiority is an illusion. The sunken ruins of the past stand as a stark warning. We must respect the physical limits of our planet and remain humble in the face of nature. The shallows have given us a few answers, but the vast majority of the ocean remains entirely unmapped. As we drop thousands of meters down into the crushing darkness of the abyssal trenches, we have to consider the very real possibility that older, far stranger civilizations might still exist down there, perfectly preserved in the deepest sediment, waiting in silence. If we do eventually discover these ultimate lost worlds beneath the waves, we won't just be uncovering the past, we will simply be looking into a mirror, reflecting our own inevitable future.